Guys, can we put a pin in that? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a guest.
Yeah.
She's going to introduce herself.
Hi guys, I am Lyn and I, also known as Mami. I have a natural hair blog, which is fosimami.com, as well as a YouTube channel, which is so baby, so new. So
It's new.
Yeah.
We have been there really. So she's a natural hair content creator as well, and we're in this thing collaborating because why not? There is just so much room for all of us to succeed in this thing. So we are going to get into the topic of hair myths. Like all those good things that you hear and you don't know if it's true and you're just not sure. So that's what we are going to do, because I hear we know about hairs.
Apparently. So busting myths today.
Yeah, so as we do that, it's going to be sort of a mukbang-ish thing. We got some stuff from Java's. You're always ignoring me, Java's, but it's alright. It's fine. I continue to buy your things. So we'll just eat and chat hair myths. So let's do that.
It takes a lot of effort to take care of natural hair. Guys, it's not true. Like, you may see Fiona Kemi posting videos of Sijui wash day, of she's changing her style today, tomorrow. Believe me, it takes a lot less than that. Like, that's literally one day of the week.
Yeah.
You'll put a style in, you'll have, you do your twists, and you're good for the whole time. Like, it's not like, oh my god, I have to change a style today morning, tomorrow I have to do the whole, moisturizing, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
It's so true, because so many people will be telling me, but how do you do these natural hair things? And it's hard. But don't you do, like, even strangers, like sometimes when you're here, but I have a lot of natural hair. How do you do it? I'm like, how do I do it? I'm like, you guys. I'm like, first of all, like, usually the hairstyle I have in is the hairstyle I've had in the entire week.
Right.
I probably will have it for 2 weeks. Like, I sleep and then I wake up and then I sleep. Like, it just, like, it's not that hard. I think the harder thing is the learning process.
Yeah.
Like, when you're there in the beginning and you're trying to figure out, what does my hair want? That's the hard part.
It's a bit of a learning curve, but like, once you get over it, it's second nature.
That's when it gets easier. So I'm going to talk about sulfates. You guys, if you're one of those naturals who do research, you know that so many people, so many naturals are against using sulfates. Like, sulfates will dry your hair. Sulfates will... That's the main thing that will dry your hair. But that's actually not the case, you guys. The thing about sulfates are a clarifying agent, and they also are lathering agents. So they help to create a lather, and they help the ingredients in your shampoo to clean your hair properly. Now, the thing about that is that it can be harsh. It can be, if you're using it like all the time. I mean, if every week you're using sulfates, it can dry out your hair, which is just a normal thing. If you're washing that often with something that is meant to clean completely, it's going to dry out your hair. But if you are using it properly, if you're using a shampoo with sulfates properly, it won't cause you any issues. And I say this because I use shampoos with sulfates. You use shampoos?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, and especially if you have like low pore hair, your hair easily like gets product buildup. Yeah. So you need sulfates now and then. Like, what I do sometimes, I'll like alternate. Maybe if I use a sulfate shampoo this time, then maybe the next time I'll use sulfate free. Yeah, it's really about balance. It's really just about finding your balance. Sulfates will not destroy your hair. Like, I'm sorry, like, that's a lie.
Yeah, I used to be one of those people. I was one of those people who were like, I do not need sulfates, I do not need what all these things in my like shampoo or whatnot. Yeah. Like, it was recently when I actually figured out that they're not that bad for you.
Yeah.
And mostly when I started using hair grease again. Apparently it's really, really good for like locking in moisture and whatnot. And sulfate shampoo is the only thing that will wash it out. Like, it's that kind of...
Yeah, I was telling you, right? It's petroleum, so you need some sulfates. So Sulfates have their purpose. Like most things, they just have their time.
The next myth that I have had so many places is that there are hacks in quotes, to fix your split ends. Guys, please throw them away. Throw them away. Like right now, yesterday, last week. Like split ends, literally, if your hair is split at the bottom, there is no avocado, there is no olive oil, there is nothing that will put the hair back together. You can, so like, you know, even with I see it a lot, it comes out a lot, especially with people with relaxed hair. Like you'll see someone and they're hanging on to every strand of hair, and then the hair is slicked down, and then the bottom is just like, it's like a poofy dress, and you're just like, let it go.
Once your ends have split, they have split. Forget about it.
Period.
Period. Okay. The other myth I'll talk about is, I don't know what to call it, but just say temperature of water for washing hair.
Okay.
So, you know, I feel like some people, because I think it's a general like rule that we use warm water to wash our hair. I think that sometimes people feel like warm water needs to be hotter than it actually needs to be. You guys, literally just a little bit above room temperature. Don't scald your hair. You'll actually compromise the structure of your hair if you're using water that's on the hotter end. So definitely keep it like lukewarm. That's the best temperature to wash with. But also, I think the bigger myth is that you always have to seal your hair. Like when you're rinsing, you have to rinse with cool water. You don't have to. This is something, by the way, I've also just learned like in the past month.
Please teach us.
Because even me, in my previous wash day videos, you'll see that I was saying you should definitely like rinse with cool water. But you don't have to, like, it really depends. Again, it depends on what your hair needs. Now, like for example, my hair is low porosity. And because it's that way, if I rinse with cool water, I'm closing up the cuticles. And yet after that, I'm going to moisturize. I'm going to put in leave-in. So that stuff is just going to sit on top of my hair because I've closed the cuticles. So it actually doesn't really make sense, especially if you have low porosity hair. Like your hair is not benefiting from all the goodness that you're putting in during your moisturizing process. So now I just do my whole wash day with warm water because it just makes sense for the type of hair I have. If you have high porosity hair, that's a different story.
Hearing that is so freeing because like, you know that moment when you're doing wash day and like you feel nice because you have warm water in your hair, you're like, yes. And then the end of it all is with cold icy water. And you're just like,
the pain.
It's so... The next myth, which is like a big one for me by the way, is that natural hair is unprofessional.
Preach.
I do not want to go into a whole rant about internalized racism or whatnot, but it comes from far, and yes, we have been told for a long time that straighter is better, that, you know, when you're going to a job interview or you're going to work or you have an event, you have to straighten the hair or whatnot. Like, guys, it's a lie. Your hair is beautiful, like, you know, and it's actually it's so much better to like just enjoy and try to find more styles that work for the particular setting that you're going in. Of course, I'm not going to take my ruffled out afro into a boardroom, but you know, a nice bun, you know, there's so many different ways that we can play with our hair and have it looking phenomenal, professional, CEO, and all that. Like, I don't have to stress myself to do, you know, I have a wedding this week, I have an event this other day, I have to go to the salon, I have to do this, they have to blow dry. Nah, fam.
I hope that one day we reach a point where you can just wear your fro to a boardroom and not be looked at like you're, you know. One of the silliest myths that we have probably all heard, and that if you trim your hair, it will grow faster. What a lie. I don't know. I don't know.
Guys, they played you. Whoever told you that played you.
Anyway, they played us all because this kind of thing started long.
Yes.
It's such a lie. The thing about trimming is that it is good for health, for the health of your hair. It can help you retain length better, because you know, if every time you have some split ends or whatever, you just cut them off, you avoid like a situation where the split just keeps spreading down the hair shaft. So it can help you retain length in a, you know, more consistent way, but there is no way that it can make your hair grow faster. You guys, to begin with, our hair is dead tissue. The only part of the hair that's living is like the follicle, like in there where it comes from. So there's just no way that cutting it can make it suddenly, you know,
like from nowhere.
And also, you know, sometimes when people hit like a speed bump with hair, I get this a lot in my inbox in Instagram. Like people will be like, my hair has been frustrating me, so I'm going to cut it. And
Yes.
Like,
I've had a few conversations like that.
And I'm like, but cutting it is not going to make it better in some way. People think over cutting it means I don't understand
like
actually what the aim is.
Or what, but
like, maybe if you have like heat damage, then chop off the parts that need to be cut. You don't need to go bald to start again. It's not going to change anything for your hair health. Negative,
at
like
all.
Forget about it.
Kaweke hair doesn't grow, or that natural hair, or you know, that really kinky hair doesn't grow, or doesn't grow long, you know. That's the whole thing, guys. I don't know if I can show you a few pictures, but I've seen people with hair as long as my braids. Like, hair grows long, and it's just that shrinkage might fool some people. I always say it. I've always said it on the site. I've always said it everywhere. Like, focus more on health rather than length. And believe me, you might not even notice it when it's happening.
It's true.
But you'll be like, you wake up one morning and you're like, where do I put all this? Like, it's too much. Where, how, when? So like, chill. It will work out. It will grow, and hair does grow. Natural hair does grow, and it grows long. So
Facts of life. I remember when I had, because I have a friend, we started growing our hair at the exact same time, and we both like cut it all off. And she has her texture is somewhere in between 4B and 4A. So we're there, 3 months. I think it was around like the 4 month, 5 month or 6 month mark.
Right.
And we had been like braiding. We were doing braid around the same time and stuff. So when we took it out, she was doing like a high puff. You know how you can be dreaming of a puff in your life. Her hair does a puff, and I'm like,
where am I?
what is my life?
What am I doing wrong?
I felt so bad. I know I was putting in effort, buying the oils, doing all. And then, so then a couple of months later, like when we were reaching like the 1 year mark, and then I think I'd had braids and I took them out. And then I realized our hair was the same length.
Yes.
And I realized it's just that my hair couldn't do the things that her hair was doing at that level.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to other people. You will get so frustrated.
My last myth is that natural hair is expensive. How do I say this? It's expensive only if you want it to be. You know? There's that moment when you'll be like, no, I want to only have sheer moisture, and I want to have the most expensive what. Eh? If you want it to be expensive, it will also expense you, okay? but like, how do I say? Like, most of the products that I buy or whatever, I replenish them after such a long time.
True.
I do not spend on my hair every month. In fact, most of the months, all I spend is 0 shillings. Washing my hair at home. Yes, of course, it took some time to learn how to, you know, wash my hair myself and whatnot, and not rely on a salon. But once I had that freedom, guys, you wash the hair, you put the product, you twist the twist.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard so many people say that natural hair is expensive, and I know where they're coming from. I understand, and again, it's one of those things that before you figure it out, it can be. At the beginning, when you're just like, you're watching all these videos, you're seeing all these things, and you're just running mad and you're buying everything you see. You're like, they said olive oil, they said coconut oil, they said manya hot. Like, you are just like you know, you're out there buying 1,000 things. I always aim for those expos where stuff is cheaper and buy in bulk. Of course, obviously, if you're going to the salon, it will be a little bit more expensive for you. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. I know that not everyone is on the DIY gang, but I definitely always encourage guys, like, just know. At least just know. What if you travel and you're in a place where you can't find someone who can do your hair?
And then
just know the
some
basics.
funny things in your hair.
Like, know the basics, and like she said, you don't need to buy the most expensive stuff on the market. Like, you guys, like, I have literally to date never tried sheer moisture because what?
Not for me.
The hell?
How is a small tin 30, like 45?
Brands here are making that stuff. Why are you fighting?
Amazing things.
You don't need to be buying foreign stuff that may be on the market today and gone tomorrow. You can just buy things of here, and it's nice stuff. And you like, anyway, the main point is don't suffer. There's this myth that like if you go natural, your hair will become thicker. Lies, friends. Lies, the lies. Like, it's just, I think it's just that you think it's thicker because obviously when it's not in a relaxed state, it's going to be poofier. But it does not make your hair thicker. It's going to appear thicker because, you know, it's natural. It's just, the poofiness of it is definitely going to look thicker, which is an advantage, especially for people with fine hair.
You'll know it's the same hair when you go for your annual blowout. You know, there's that one time a year when you just blow your hair out and you're like, this is the same.
It is the one.
The same sleepiness that it used to have in the relaxed state. So it's the same,
A lot of us think that dandruff is the same as dry scalp. Actually, they are different. Dandruff is like, it's caused by like a specific bacteria, like it has a specific cause. Then dry scalp is just dry scalp. Your scalp is parched. You're not putting some moisture on there, you're not sealing it a little bit, you're not giving your scalp, you know, some moisture, so it's getting dry. And when it gets dry, of course, it may flake up, but even those flakes are different from what happens with dandruff. So those are actually two very different things. And although you can have both, it can happen, you can have the same, you can have dry scalp and have dandruff together, but it's actually not the same thing. I just found this out like when I was researching about myths. I saw a natural hair blogger talking about it, and I was like, okay, actually didn't know, I just thought same, like we always think of dandruff is the same, but then I realized, because I've had dandruff before, when you have dandruff, it's actually kind of oily. It's not dry. It's kind of oily, so it's actually not, it's not the same thing.
I've also dealt with that, currently also dealing with dandruff, and like every time I try to consult someone or like you know, a salon or something, they'll be like, someone will ask me, but did you oil your hair? Sis,
oil.
No, the oil thing is not going to take away the dandruff, you know?
That actually brings us to another myth. Oil does not moisturize.
Guys, can we put a pin in that and we finish the dandruff?
Let's finish that.
Like, there are particular products that actually help with such issues, things like sulfur. Like if you use sulfur in your head, it was more likely to kill the fungus than, you know. So
that's something also as we are learning, and there you go, the difference. So this other one that we have just fallen in, you guys really didn't plan, like it just occurred to us now. This is a big myth, like
it was a lie.
Huge. You guys, oil does not moisturize.
Doesn't do anything.
Oh my god, oil does not moisturize it. And it's like, it's so understandable that we have this confusion because we grew up thinking that oil is what makes hair moisturized.
Like,
but what a lie. What a lie. You guys, nothing moisturizes but water. It is only water that adds moisture to your hair. Oil is a sealant. Oil, butter, petroleum, whatever you're using after, on top of the water, it's a sealant that allows the water to stay in, because of course water evaporates if you don't seal it, so it can stay in. So please, if the hair is dry, banana, don't start putting thousands of layers of oil. You are wasting time.
No, if you're using, as you know that oil is a sealant, now you have no moisture in your head.
Exactly.
You're sealing in dryness, my sis.
Exactly.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Which is actually why, like, even with I have braids or whatever, like on my scalp, if I need to put like oil, I always first put like some little spray,
Yeah.
a little bit of water, and then you can add a little bit of oil after. Also, don't put many layers on your scalp. Your scalp
Truly.
produces oil.
Yes.
So don't be putting thousands of things on your scalp. So yeah, it's such a helpful tip that no matter if you're guy, chick, whatever, for your beard, for just know that oil is not doing you any favors moisture-wise unless there's water coming before it. So that's actually it from us about the hair. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, we've had fun, we've eaten food, and we really want to hear from you guys. Let's like chat in the comment section below. I'm going to leave the link to Lyn's blog. She creates some really great content on natural hair. And she's just an all-round cool person who you can follow on the gram, okay? So yeah, and yeah, that's it from us, you guys. Bye.
Bye.